Hi, and welcome to this blog where I'll speak about a case from the student clinic a few years back when I was a supervisor. Now, let's see how this case is being taken by the student. All right? So, this is a 63-year-old female who came with complaints of arthritis in her left hand, so mostly in her middle and right finger, which started around 18 months back. So the student asked her some really important questions. The first thing was talking about at stage 1 and 2, right? So we have the arthritis and the location here. She asks us to describe the pain. She says it's just painful, it's weaker, there's no strength in it. I can't describe the exact pain, but that's what it is. She says anti-inflammatories take away a lot of pain, but they're not good for your liver, and I want to take something natural. So she tells us why she wants to come into homeopathy here. And then about the pain, she says it's sore, but it's not achy, and it's more in the morning when I get up, and only when I start to move that does it get painful, and it's aggravated by cold as well. So she's describing it very well at stage 2 now, where we're talking about the local symptoms, the local common modalities, aggravations and ameliorations, and some peculiarities as well. So you see how this case is flowing from stage 1 to stage 2. Now, this is a very important question again, which the student asked. How did it start? Because it tells us the causative modality, which gives us an important keynote at stage 3. So she said it's swollen initially and then it becomes sore. It was painful to squeeze it. That's how I realized it's hurting when I'm pressing it, and it got tighter and weaker. When I carry anything, I can't. It's just there is no strength in it. I would drop if I pick up something with my left hand, and I just hope it doesn't spread to the other hand. So she doesn't actually tell us when it started, which is important because there isn't anything which she can recollect here. And then she's talking something very interesting here. She says if you get it in the hips, you can't walk, and that would be dreadful. And at least if I can have something to take it away, that'd be good. That's what I want the homeopathic for. I don't like anyone doing things for me. I want to look after myself. It's horrible to be dependent and rely on children to fetch and carry you, which will be horrible. So this is her worst case scenario, that if she gets really, really bad with arthritis, and if it gets into the hips, it can actually be a problem because she will have to be dependent on someone, and that's not what she wants to do. So this for me is a mind-body connection. She is actually talking about the arthritis, but now she's relating to her emotions. So this patient is for me somebody at stage 3. So we can use an approach at stage 3. Doesn't mean you cannot work out a remedy at stage 1 and 2. Just means her best potential with homeopathy is at stage 3. So that's where the student then went to the past history. She said she's had hysterectomy due to bladder prolapse. Her bowels are getting prolapsed again and she's due for another surgery. She had appendicitis when she was a kid. She got some personal history from her, which was great. She's a chilly patient. She gets cold hands and feet. She requires stockings and gloves to keep them warm, or the pain is aggravated. She got some cravings for sweets because she loves food, and she has slight wheat intolerance, which causes some wind. And she's had this problem with the bowel problems, and she's had a bowel prolapse and has done some surgery to tighten it up, but she is very careful about after surgery. She eats a lot of roughage to keep her bowels going. The other thing was there is not much sweating. She sleeps well, there are no dreams, there's no thirst, and her energy is good. So that was all we got from the personal history. And then there was this space in the questionnaire which speaks about a mental state, and she got some information there. She needs company. She's aggravated by being alone, and she said, I have to be careful carrying things. I can't do yoga and like to be independent. Husband has to shop and make her bed, which she doesn't like actually. She can't carry her grandkids, which is also disappointing, but she feels I'm not looking after them properly, and that's like she doesn't fulfill herself as a grandma, and she feels a bit inadequate there. And then any worries? She says, there's nothing actually which worries me. At 60, nothing can worry you. I have a good marriage. I have a good life. And there are no fears. So that was the case. Now, I want to ask you, what will you do here? I mean, would you ask any further questions? Would you prescribe on this information? If this was a clinic case, what remedies would come up for you? So I want to know the approach. Is this a complete case? Is it an incomplete case? What are your thoughts? So I'll look forward to that. Next time, we'll see what happens next and how we go from here with that patient. Thank you very much. Look forward to you with your questions and answers and in my next blog.